Welcome back to PSN Commanders Network. It's your boy okay, Zach. I'm back with another video. If I get to the glory to God, for God's right now, doors and paving way for today's video. Here about the Washington Commanders. If I get too far into it, we did get some bad news this morning in Commanders land, Redskins land, Washington land. As one of our own did pass away this morning, and Christian Sonny Jurgensen, the third. It was a profound sadness that we had shared the passing of our husband, father, and grandfather, Sonny Jurgensen, passed away at the age of 91. He lived with deep appreciation for his teammates, colleagues, and friends he met along the way. While he's taking his final snap, his legacy will remain an indelible part of the city he loved and the city and the family he built. We're confident by the knowledge that he's brought joy to so many. This weekend, if we enjoy the game he loves so much. Join us in the raise a glass, share a story, a smile. We celebrate the extraordinary life of a man a man who was to us the greatest of all. So I'm gonna give y'all the verse of the day specifically for this specific topic. And it's two verses. One is Psalms 34, verse 18, says as follows. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And also Psalms 147, verse 3 says as follows. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. So this is just a quick prayer for all of the Jurgensen family at this time. That you just keep them in prayer and help them get through a tough time with your prayer and petitions to God. I appreciate y'all for that. Let's get right into today's live stream. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that, get that out the way for you guys. But today we'll talk some Commanders news that has recently hit the airwaves, things of that nature. We'll talk about the Eric Henderson hire very briefly, and then also we'll talk about the press conferences for Durante Jones and also David Blau that'll be on February 10th. What I think they'll talk about during those pressers and stuff like that. We'll go ahead and talk about all those things today in today's live. So let's get right into it. We don't waste so much time. Shout out to the 10 we do have in the building. Let's get right into the live stream. So hope you guys having a blessed one, and let's not waste no more time. So let's start with the demotion of now assistant defensive line coach Daryl Tapp, with the incoming of Eric Henderson, former Rams and Chargers defensive line coach, and now our current D-line coach. He just was in USC as a co-defensive coordinator last season for the USC Trojans. He's coming in to be our defensive line coach. So now Daryl Tapp has to take a step back and be the assistant defensive line coach. Did not get let go, but was reassigned his position. Did take a slight demotion. But I think like Daryl Tapp, they want to let him go, but they preferred Eric Henderson to be the defensive line coach. In Washington. So let's look at what he did with the Rams in 2021, because I think that's his most recent stop in the NFL as a defensive line coach. So let's see what they have done in 2021 here with the Rams before we dive too far into other things. I know that I can't get. So, okay. So, the Rams in 2021, I'm going to go ahead and pull up for you guys here. The Rams in 2021. I don't know where you got that from, But I'm team whatever the team does. We trade back, cool. We don't, we don't. I just want a dog, bro. I just want a dog, to be honest. Okay, this is interesting. What in the nonsense is this? Okay, so let's look at what the Rams did in 2021 while he was there as a defensive line coach. I don't know why they have offensive players on here. It's so weird. But of course, Aaron Donald, Hall of Famer. He had 12 and a half sacks, 84 combined tackles, 31 solo. He had 25 quarterback hits in 2021. But we know, like I said, that's a Hall of Famer. So it's not hard to coach a Hall of Famer, right? But Leonard Floyd had 9.5 sacks in 2021 as the right outside linebacker. I'm more of a defensive end, call what it is. 10 combined tackles and 18 quarterback hits, right? Taylor Rapp had 1.5 sacks. Trying to find. Greg Danes had 5 sacks there as well. Trying to see. Why? Von Miller, in his short time, had 5 sacks there as well. Troy Reader, he had 2 sacks. Sebastian Joseph Day had 3 sacks. I mean, he didn't have another season more than 2.5 after this, so that's a good look there as well. Terrell Lewis had 3 sacks. Kenny Young had 2 sacks. I'm trying to see what else. I don't know. That's not it. That's weird. That's weird. But yeah, there's a bunch of offensive players. I don't know why they got this. Is so weird. So weird. But whatever. They should have a defensive. I don't know why I got like this. But yeah. But Leonard Floyd is definitely the guy that kind of stands out here. Aaron Donald had 12.5, but Aaron Donald was his dog, so we don't need to talk about that. Aaron Donald was the best to do it, and he will be a Hall of Famer when his name does come up in the Hall of Fame discussions. 111 total sacks. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. And yeah, that's kind of that. But he has coached Hall of Famer, so he knows what elite looks like as well. Which is great to know. Leonard Floyd was a guy. He had 9.5 sacks. What has he done since 2020? Leonard Cornelius Floyd, 2025 had 3.5 sacks. I think the last time he had a very impactful season was 2021. We can go check that out real quick. Why not? And let's see what he has done. So, he had one more good year after that. 2023, he had 8 sacks and 9 the year after that. But I still think he was there in 2021 or 2022 with Eric Henderson, that is, with Floyd. So, 10.5, 8.5, 3.5. But he is 33 years old, so starting to decline a little bit, but nonetheless. Also, he's in a rotation with James Pierce Jr. and Javon Walker. But yeah, nonetheless, he had a good year under Eric Henderson. Also, Aaron Donald did. I think he was the D-line coach until 2023. Ashawn Robinson also had 2 sacks, and then also Greg Danes had 4.5. I don't think he did anything outside of that in his career since then. So we'll see. He had 2 sacks in 2025. So that's all we need to know. Let's see what else he's done in his career, shall we? He has not had a year above that year since 4-1-1-2. So he did help him get a career high in sacks. So that's a good look there for Eric Henderson. So he's a very good defensive line coach. I say he's coached elite players, so you know what elite looks like. He's also helped guys get career highs in certain numbers, such as great games. Helped Ashawn Robinson, guys like that. He's also Super Bowl champion. Let's see to win a Super Bowl. I like Eric Henderson. I think it's a good look. That defensive line in USC wasn't the greatest there, but given he wasn't the direct defensive line coach there, so we'll keep that in mind as well. But yeah, I like Eric Henderson. I think it's a good look. I think that he will help this defensive line be better. I think the guy that will get the most impact out of it is Johnny Newton. I'll have a much more detailed video about Jerjon Newton in a later time. But I want to just tell you guys, I think the guy will be impacted most positively will be Johnny Jerjon Newton from the hiring of Eric Henderson. Very similar, frame to Aaron Donald, undersized defensive lineman, but we will not be Aaron Donald. So let's go ahead and kick that out now. But I think he could replicate that 5 sacks he had, but spread them out over time instead of having a breakout game, a bunch of duds. So I think that Johnny Newton will be impactful by his hire. He was impacted. And Daryl Tapp being demoted, I'm not surprised. When you go 5-12, you have to make some changes. And Daryl Tapp wasn't getting the job done. I said Johnny Newton wasn't the guy who wanted to be. Deron Payne Deron played well. Javon Kinlaw was great against the run to start the year, been kind of cooled off. Dietrich Wise only played 2 games, so we can't really say nothing about Dietrich Wise. Dorrance Armstrong played well. We like to talk from Dorrance, but outside of Dorrance and Deron in the beginning of the year for Javon Kinlaw, this defensive line did not come snuff. A guy like Jacob Martin played well toward the end of the season, but that's about it. Like, this defensive line just didn't get the job done, either rushing a passer or stopping the run. It just wasn't good enough. Let's just be honest. When that happens, changes have to be made, and Daryl Tapp, unfortunately, you had to be demoted. That's what comes with the territory. Can we get a collab with you and Jalen Warren? I don't mind collabing with Jalen. Jalen's a cool dude. He's a really, 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 really insightful guy. I would love to be on the channel, vice versa. He just had to hit me up. Or vice versa, I had to hit him up. And go from there. But yeah, I wouldn't mind collabing with Jalen. He's a cool dude. So, thank you, Jackson. This guy, problem Henderson. But Drake was drafted with 2019? No, he's not that old. With 2022? I think he was, I don't know. Was he with USC at that point in time? I think he was. Maybe. Drake Jackson has to be returned by he has to be re-signed here, but if he's re-signed yet, I think he'd be one of the guys. But Johnny just has that frame and type of mold that Eric could work with. So I think he will. And also what happened with Deron Payne. That's another thing that kind of, I think personally should cut Deron or extend him. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Don't have him on this last year, this deal, but that's a topic for another. But yeah, I think Eric Henderson will be a huge addition to this coaching staff. He's a good defensive line coach. I think he will really, 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 really help this team out when it comes to rushing the passer and stopping the run. I think he will have this team go back to the basics, into the fundamentals. And I think that will help this team a lot. We need to get back to sometimes going back to the basics. Nothing like that. Like, when you go back to the basics and just focus on fundamentals and the little things, and then it helps your team out. I think it helps your unit out. So I truly believe we'll go back to the basics this year, work on just the little things, and just making sure that we're doing the little things correctly so we can do the bigger things right? So with that being said, I like the hire of Eric Henderson being a defensive line coach. I think he'll be a very impactful coach to his coaching staff, and I do think it will amount to wins because if he gets a quarterback, we can get more stops on defense. We can get the offense back rolling, get Jaden the ball back more, and that will be a huge help. Now, let's get to last night's news. We had some news about the NFL award ceremony. Of course, Matthew Stafford did win MVP. Jarris, aka formerly known as Jarris's Corner, no longer on the two, but shout out to Jarris. Jarris owes me lunch. Cannot wait. Actually, I'm going to reap the benefits of that today. I want free lunch. Thank you, sir. I won't do that. But yeah, shout out to Jarris. Shout out to Tim from Tim Sports Talk as well in our group chat that we have. Also, JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba also did win the Offensive Player of the Year award. CMC won Comeback Player of the Year award, but a Commander did win an award last night. and that is the longtime linebacker in this league, Bobby Wagner, soon to be Hall of Famer Bobby Wagner. He did win Walter Payton Player of the Year award. Shout to Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner, phenomenal football player for most of his career. Just doesn't have certain aspects to his game anymore. But off the field, he's still the same guy he was when he was in Seattle. Always getting back to the community, making sacrifices and helping out the DMV community. We should thank Bobby Wagner for that. And whatever happens with Bobby next, we will not attack him on this channel. We will wish him nothing but the best. And I got a lot of love for Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner helped change his culture here. You can say, well, we're 5-12. How he changed the culture? In 2024, we were in every game, bro. We didn't get blown out in 2024. When Jaden plays 17, we don't get blown out, bro. Period. We did get blown one time with Jaden ever, and that was unfortunately the Seattle Seahawks game on Sunday Night Football this year. But outside of that one game, when we haven't gotten blown with Jaden Daniels at quarterback, since he's been drafted in 2024, you can't name another time we got blown out. So that just changed the culture. We're getting blown every week with Ron Rivera. We're getting our door blown, not a weekly basis, but at least a monthly basis with Jay Gruden. You know what I mean? So Dan Quinn coming in here with Adam Peters, he brought in a guy like Bobby Wagner, changed the culture. Bobby Wagner is a culture changer. As anytime, anywhere, anybody. You know what I mean? I don't know if it gets higher here, that same rhetoric from Dan Quinn, but that is kind of true to a certain extent. Like anytime, anywhere, any place, we're ready to play. And most of the time, we are ready to play football. So shout out to Bobby Wagner, wish him well as well. So that's pretty much the news. Eric Henderson being here as a new defensive line coach, I think is a great fit. With this young movement of Durante Jones being 47, he's not an old coach. David Blau being 30. You know what I mean? Like, we're going so young at the coaching staff position. I think that's going to translate to the roster. I mean, a bunch of young and up and coming. Like, I think we're going to get a lot of young up and coming free agents as well. Just because if we're going to get young in the coaching staff, we want to go young on the roster. While we have a veteran roster, if we have a young coaching staff, you know what I mean. So I think we're gonna marry this young coaching staff with a young roster, and I'm so excited. Jaden number 25, Billy number 24. Terry's getting a little older; he'll be 31 in September, but nonetheless, outside Terry McLaurin, Laramie Tunzel, Jeremy Reeves, and when we re-signed Tressway, who's older than 30? And I don't think Revo is 30 yet. I think Revo might be 29. So he's not 30 yet. You know what I mean? I think Jeremy Reeves is 20. I believe. He might be 30. Yeah, he's 20. So he'll be turning 30 in August. So outside of Revo, Revo is turning 30 in August. Terry McLaurin, that's already 30. Laramie Tunzel, Dorrance Armstrong, and Tressway. This is going to be a young team. This is going to be a very young team. And Frankie Lou. So you got 6 guys that are above 30, or at 30, or above 30. Everyone else is going to be pretty much like Ty Beyond going to be 30 yet. He's 20, about to turn 29. Josh Conley's 22 years old. Sam Coffey, 28, 27. Whoever is the left guard, whether it's Brandon Coleman or Chris Paul. Chris Paul's 27. Brandon Coleman's 25. Bill's 24 years old. Jaden Daniels is 25. Ben Simmons 24. Mikey Samuel's 24. Trey Amos is 22. Is this going to be a young football team? This is going to be a younger football team. Jordan McGee's 25. This team is going to be young. And I love it. I love every single second of it. Because we need to be youthful. We need to be youthful, fast, and smack people in the mouth. It's exactly what I feel with this Commanders 2026. There's gonna come more mistakes. Young teams want to make mistakes, guys. We saw that in 2023 with the Commanders. Very young, super youthful roster, made a crap ton of mistakes. But I think this team is smarter than that 2020 team. We won't have a Sam Howell turn the ball over 20. And I love Sam. This is the fact. Sam Howell led the league with 21 interceptions in 2023. When he wasn't turning the ball over, the Commanders were competitive. Once they turned the ball over left and right, the team stink. Let's keep it at 1,000 right now. It's a fact. So, if we can just take care of the football, be balanced offensively, and things of that nature, I think this young Commanders team is going to be the biggest wild card in the NFC conference. I'll have much more detail about that later. But yeah, I think we're the biggest wild card. Any team in his whole conference, we're the biggest wild card. What is this team? What is this team going to bring? What is this new team identity with these new two coordinators? Is it something similar to what we used to do, or something completely different than what's coming? We have a ton of question marks. But those question marks and mystery or surprise could be the thing that gives the advantage here. Right? So, being youthful roster, youthful coaching staff, a bunch of surprises, I think that this Commanders team is going to be a fun one to watch. So speaking of mock drafts, I'm gonna give y'all a one here today to end today's live stream. And the reason I'm doing that today is because I want to give y'all a different some fun. This one will not count toward the mocks I've already done on the channel or towards the mocks I will do throughout the rest of the draft process. The combine's coming up pretty soon, so that should be pretty cool as well. And we're going to go ahead and do a quick mock for y'all. Why not? Go ahead and give y'all a quick mock. Why not? We talked about the news already, so let's go ahead and give y'all a mock, and we'll go ahead and get on up out of here. But yeah, let's go ahead and give y'all a mock. So far, Fernando Mendoza and Caleb Downs were taken in this draft already. Let's go ahead and continue the draft. Jordan Tyson at 3, Jeremiah Love at 4, Albert Reese at 5, Sonny Stout at 6. So we got a couple of trades here. One for 17 and 50, and 23, 54, 68, and a Philadelphia second round pick. We gotta get about 145th pick. That's our 5th rounder. I'm running to keep a 5th rounder. I am getting a 2027 second rounder. David Bailey's right here, though. Do I take the gamble? Ruben Baines gone. Okay, so David Bailey, Kyle Lemon. Cassius Howell. There's our boss. And TJ Parker. Ooh. I got one more edge versus Warford Darn. I hope I can get. Yep, there we go. I'm good now. I don't have to do nothing else. And now I'm good. Let's just get out of here. And now I'm good. I'm good. Just the guy I'm looking for, if I can find him, if he's still here. I think he is. Akeem Messador is the guy I'm looking at. There we go. We got that guy, and we're good to go. Got a good edge rusher there for the state. Yeah. Miami. So, not Miami. So, Ruben Bain. So, Ruben Bain's teammate is here in Washington. Let's go ahead and keep attacking. See what we can do here. I'm excited about us this draft. So, Ty Simpson's off the board now. Elijah Surratt's gone. And we got a second round pick now. So, we should have a little bit of fun here. Pick 60, pick 91 for 54 and 185. Another second round pick is interesting. I don't want to be super top heavy with this draft, but I am very interested in this pick. I don't want to get out the second round though, so I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I think I'm fine where I'm at. Last stores. I want to say Eli Stowers here. Kind of a wild one, but we'll take Eli Stowers here. I think we need a tight end. And I think having a young duo of him, of Sennett, and Ben Bates really just ends the whole safety thing and put a whole tight end thing and put that to rest. So I like that one a lot actually. 109's fine, not bad. I want more picks in this draft. I want more young players. So I think I am gonna go with. You got 4 spots. Pick up a 5th rounder. I'll do that. That's fine. Then we got back-to-back picks. I don't want to move. I'm good. I don't want to move. Ooh. I don't want to move. I don't want to move. I want my pick of the litter. Being kind. I got 2 third rounders now, so we can make some more. We can make some noise now. So we attacked edge rusher with Messidor, and we attacked tight end with Eli Stowers. That was an interesting one. I'm not gonna lie. And I regret that later, but nevertheless, I can live with my results there. We don't have another pick until 185, so we're gonna make these 2 count, right? If we're gonna go offense with one of them and defense with the other. I kind of want to go safety in Zachy Weekly 63201. I like Wheatley a lot actually. Penn State guy, so I've watched him. Decent coverage guy. It's not the best tackler, but I can live with that. He can fix it at the next level. So I'm go Wheatley here. Actually. I don't want to turn into a walking Penn State draft, so I'm gonna chill out. But let's look at running back here. Jay Price. Pass? Okay. Really good pass catching back here. Can pass protect. Can you nice 1-2 punch with Bill? We're trying to be cheap. I think I like this. I'm gonna go Jared Price here for another thing. We put up 2 defensive players and 2 offensive players so far. I think I like this actually. They would get a 2nd round pick. A lot of guys on the board now when you pick into the 6th round. So. Look what we did so far, right? I don't care about no one right now. So, oh, thank you, Chris. So when Akeem Messidor in the 1st round, went Eli Stowers in the 2nd round, went Zyke Wheatley in the 3rd round on with Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame. I think it's a nice draft haul. I know we do have Bill And I like Bill a lot. And Jadarian Price could be a change of pace back to him. Also, you can bring back C-Rod. I know a lot of people love C-Rod. Not a big C-Rod guy, but if you did want to go inexpensive in the running back department and not spend any money on that and spend money on other things, you can get a Jadarian Price in the third round and call it a day. I'm not mad at that one at all. Didn't pick up a wide receiver yet. I truly believe we're going to pick up a wide receiver in free agency. We're going to spend some money on that, just because there's just too many good receivers out there in free agency that you want to pick up. Desmond Reed could have sit right here for me. Very, very, very similar build to the other guy we drafted in Jadarian Price. Mm. Slot option here. We'll take Kevin Coleman, Jr. Number one, that taller receiver. Jalen Lane might be a punt returner, y'all. Alrighty, so we have 207. Okay. So 207. Best guys right here are quarterbacks, which I'm not looking to do. But I might look to attack this defensive line room. He's a quarterback. One guy. Shopping. 6'3", 296. A little undersized. He went to Michigan. We'll take him in. Shoot. TJ Hall's a guy I could have picked up too. With that cornerback room. So now we're at 223. I'll take the developmental quarterback here, maybe. 6'6", 230. Wow, okay. Okay. I'll take a developmental quarterback here in the 7th round. Shoot. Why not at this point? Oh, Jalen Husky's sitting right there. That's fine. We'll end this mock and end today's live stream with this. So we did trade down to 23 with the Eagles. Got over here to get Akeem Messador. They did get Ruben Bain, which I know a lot of people hate that, but it is what it is. Eli Stowers, tight end from Vanderbilt. Zyke Weekly from Penn State. We are Penn State. Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame. Very good pass catching back. Also can run the ball a little bit. A little explosive, goes 0 to 100 very quickly. I think a great chain of pace back to Bill. He covers a lot of Bill's weaknesses. Bill had the best pass protector, and Bill had the best catcher out the backfield. So he's not bad at it, but I think Jadarian can do a little better than the Corey Krosky merit. Kevin Coleman Jr. out of Missouri. I know a lot of people say, he's another short receiver. Honestly speaking, Kevin Coleman could be your legit starting slot receiver day one for your Commanders here. So I think with this draft, I think you picked up 5 impactful players, a developmental quarterback you can sit behind Jaden and a backup for 2 years and then make him your new backup quarterback in 2 years. You picked up a second-round pick from the Philadelphia Eagles in 2027, and also a fifth-round pick from the Cincinnati Bengals in 2027 as well. Comment your thoughts on this quick little mock that we did today. Let me go Jalen Wheatley in the 4th round. I wouldn't mind that at all, actually. Take Josh, Dan Ross, tight end. I already took a tight end. I know Chris Bradley, but he was taken really early in the 2nd round. I think when I saw, so I wasn't able to get him. But I think Eli Stowers is very underrated, though. I think he's a dog. 6'4", 240, pretty much. He might be what Ben Sinnott isn't right now. And you got Ben Sinnott as your fullback, your fullback tight end hybrid. I think he will be that role in this offense. I think that Ben Sinnott will get touches at tight end and at fullback. Like that. He'll be fine and used correctly, like they wanted when they drafted him 2 years ago. I think he'll be used like that. So you need another tight end. I think you're gonna probably need one in free agency too, like a guy that can block his ball, catch the ball every now and then. Or you really just looking for the legit tight end 1, and then you got your legit tight end 2 with Bateman, your tight end 3, and then your Ben Simmons kind of your do it all guy. Maybe you want to go with that route. Wheatley gonna be a dog. I love Kevin Coleman Dream might be your starting slot receiver right away. If Jalen Lane can't, get together catching the football, I mean Tyler Green could be your developmental quarterback for 2 years and be your backup behind Jaden Daniels. So hope you guys enjoyed that one though. Yeah. Chris Bradley would be great, but I just don't think we'll be able to get him. Well, right, currently we don't have a second rounder. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. Comment on this video. Comment on the live stream. Comment your thoughts on the hiring of one Eric Henderson in Washington. Also, comment your thoughts on Bob Wagner winning Walter Payton Player of the Year award and the passing of Sonny Jurgensen, unfortunately. And when you got Sunday, do you have the Patriots win the Super Bowl, or you have the Seattle Seahawks being the 5.5-point favorite that currently are, winning the Super Bowl, hosting the Lombardi Trophy? And one thing you can comment about is, what do you want to see from me next? You want to see more position previews, like running back, wide receiver, stuff like that for free agency? You want to see more draft content? What do you want to see from me? Comment it down below too. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. On the road to 8,000 subscribers. Have a great one. Be safe, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'll catch y'all next one.